Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our City Council meeting. Today is November 21st, 2022. It's approximately 1 p.m. Normally, I ask if you please rise for a brief moment of silence as we reflect back on the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces, as well as the courageous men and women of the Las Cruces Police Department and Las Cruces Fire Department. I'm also going to ask if we also have the moment of silence also for the tragedies that occurred there at the UNM campus regarding the UNM student and NMSU basketball player, as well as the tragedies that took place in Colorado Springs where at a LGBT club where 5 people were killed and 25 injured. Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have Jennifer Martinez from our communications office introduce our Pets of the Week.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm Jennifer Martinez with today's Pets of the Week. I am from the Communications Office. And I am first going to introduce you to our Cat of the Week. This is Linda. She was brought into the shelter as a mom with 2 little kittens, and they have since been adopted, and she has since been spayed. The sweetie is quiet but loves getting attention, and if you're looking for someone to be your constant companion, you can look no further than Linda because she is sure to provide unconditional love. And then we have Princess. Look at her smile, such a beautiful girl. This girl is 3 years old and she loves going on walks. Princess loves to give kisses and is always so very happy. She's really hoping someone will want to open their heart and bring her home this week. If you're interested in adopting, now is a good time to do so because it is getting colder and your potential new pet could use someone to snuggle up next to. You can check out the farmers market this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or you can give fostering a try, a fostering weekend. You can arrange to pick up a pet on November 22nd or 23rd and drop them back off on November 25th, and it's called Paws Giving Weekend Sleepover. You can call the ASCMV for more details on this. That number is 3820018, and of course they will be closed on Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, next will be our Jobs of the Week, and I believe Giselle Palomares from the Workforce Connections will be presenting.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Giselle Palomares, and I'm with New Mexico Workforce Connection. For the jobs of this week, we have City of Las Cruces is looking our facilities electrician. It pays $20 an hour, open until filled. We have White Sands Missile Range, who is hiring an explosive safety specialist, who is paying $79K a year, closes November 28. We have Families and Youth Incorporation, who is hiring an assistant housing manager, and that pays anywhere between $32,000 and $63,000 a year, depending on experience, and closes December 9th. Tresco is hiring a custodial and grounds worker, paying $15 an hour, closes December 9th as well. Mesilla Valley Public Housing Authority is hiring a housing choice voucher program manager. That pays $40,000 to $73,000 a year, closes December 10th. Chaparral Materials Incorporation is hiring a warehouse worker that pays anywhere between $23,000 to $30,000 depending on experience, and that closes February 13th of 2023. And as always, if you want to connect with the New Mexico Workforce Connection Office, you can contact them via telephone at 575-524-6250, or you could visit them in person at 226 South Alameda Boulevard, or you can visit their webpage at employeenm.com. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Giselle. We appreciate that. Okay, so we do have one proclamation, and this is going to be for Small Business Saturday, and I understand all the chairs of the 3 local chambers of commerce are here, so if you want to join me to my right, please.
Our chair couldn't be here, so we
Okay, no
stand, and there's 3 of us.
That's okay. That's all right. No, not a problem. You know, I didn't realize until college that at that time, it was about 75% of all businesses were considered small business, under a certain size. And when you stop and think about it, it's true. It's gotten a little bit smaller, but nonetheless, small business is the backbone of the United States. And I know that for us here in the city of Las Cruces, about 60 to 65% of our operating revenue comes from gross receipts tax, which is generated by small business. And so we can't thank the small businesses enough for all that they do for not only just our community, but our state and our nation as a whole. And this Saturday is going to be very exciting, so we have this proclamation I'd like to read for you. Okay, whereas the government of Las Cruces, New Mexico celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions that they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31.7 million small businesses in the United States, and they represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. And they are responsible for 65.1% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47.1% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, 88% of U.S. consumers feel a personal commitment to support small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small business owners have pivoted that way that they do business to stay open during the pandemic. And whereas 97% of small business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact that they can make by shopping small, 85% of them also encouraged friends and families to do so as well. Whereas 50% of shoppers reported that they shopped online with a small business on Small Business Saturday in 2020, and more than 50% of consumers who reported small business shopping endorsed a local business on social media or shopped at a local small business because of a social media recommendation. And whereas Las Cruces, New Mexico supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim November 26, 2022 as Small Business Saturday, and urge all the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Attested to by Christine Rivera, our city clerk, and signed by myself, Ken Miyagishima.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, Debbie Moore, President and CEO of the Greater Las Cruces Chamber of Commerce. Small Business Saturday is just one day out of a whole year that we emphasize, but we should all be shopping locally every Saturday, every day, and keeping those grocery receipts taxes locally. I just want to take a real quick second to recognize our leadership, Las Cruces student, Liz Vega, in the room, as well as our co-chair, Jennifer Charity. They have a requirement to come to a city council meeting. And I also want to introduce our newest employee, Taylor Isaacs, who has joined the chamber about a month ago now. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Council, for this recognition, and thank you, Debbie, my colleague at the Greater Las Cruces Chamber, for really making that contact as well about this proclamation. And not only do we talk about the importance of locally, of supporting our locally owned businesses, we, with the Green Chamber, talk about Think Local First all the time. And just some fun facts for those of you who are here on the dais and those of you who may be listening is that, locally owned businesses give back to local charities 350% more than do national chains. And the reason why is because they're invested in our community. Most likely they're employing our family and friends or our neighbors, and they're part of the community and they're committed to the betterment of this community. Not only their contributions to our locally nonprofits, but also when you support local businesses, you are keeping jobs in the community, you are not supporting some job at a warehouse outside of state, or you're not contributing to your carbon footprint of paying for produce that you can get locally instead of a truck that transfers it from Georgia or any other state. And so there really is a seriousness to thinking local first, but also supporting our local businesses. We talk about this on Small Business Saturday because that seems to be like right after Thanksgiving, that's the largest shopping day of the year. The point is, for small businesses, this last quarter is the most critical quarter of their entire year. They are looking at this quarter to help offset any opportunities or any times that they were in the red or that their budgets were low. And so this is really important. If you want to keep your favorite local businesses around, please support local businesses during this time and every single day. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Israel Chavez. I'm a board member with Las Cruces Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Sonia and Richard are here today, shouldering the responsibility for Belia Alvarez, who's our chair. And I just want to thank you for recognizing this and acknowledge that for 2 centuries, whether it was through acequias or carnicerias or whatever kind of business, Latinos, people of color, have been in this valley creating economic drive, and have been doing so in a way that helped improve and be a part of our communities. And so the Las Cruces Hispanic Chamber of Commerce echoes the sentiments of our colleagues and continues to work hard to bridge the gap between the economic engine that is the city of Las Cruces and our counterparts, our friends, our neighbors outside of the city limits, and ensuring that we grow together, and that as we see prosperity, that benefits all of the people in our community. So thank you.
You know, I didn't have a chance to eat lunch, Isaac, and you saying carniceria, just made me think of food. I was trying to block it out until I got to the office. But, I have to tell you, we're really fortunate to have 3 chambers here, headed by some great people, probably the best in the state. So thank you for all that you do. You guys keep the doors open, and you keep our businesses going, and of course they in turn keep our Las Cruces employed. So thank you again for everything, and enjoy the rest of the holidays. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh. Okay, now is one of my top teens, Sharia Mulamala. Is she here? You're going to publicize Autism Hub? Okay. You're going to use this computer here, or is it loaded up already? Okay, great. And if you have to speak, can you just state your name, and even though I recognize you? Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Shriya Mulamala. I'm a high school senior at Mesilla Valley Christian School, and I'm here to talk about a website that I created called Autism Hub. I'm also one of the mayor's top teens. So I'm a founder and president of a nonprofit organization here locally called Hand in Hand, and through this organization, it builds up high schoolers to be leaders in their community and also help children who are undeserved and also underprivileged. So I've met a lot of autistic children around through this organization, and I've got to research autism and understand what it really is. I've noticed New Mexico has many minimal resources when it comes to free education for autistic children online. When I was younger, I always wanted a platform that helped me be able to find my profound love for learning, so I wanted to create something like that for autistic individuals. And this website, briefly, it does just that. I am not a medical professional, and I don't claim to be anywhere, so I'm a high school student with a passion, and I've contacted people at Baylor University, NMSU, UNM, medical professionals, medical therapists to guide me through this website as I created it. And one thing I do want to point out in the beginning of this page is that I really do appreciate feedback. If you guys are somebody who knows a lot about autism, who are professionals in autism, it really helped me to get feedback so that I can go back and edit it. And this has really helped me because I've got parents and teachers giving me feedback that I've applied to this website. So briefly, it has 6 different sections here. So there's like a self-regulating section, which allows autistic individuals to transition from topics to be able to self-regulate, to change from happy to sad. I created my own sounds and my own smells that I listed for parents, and they can simply find what works best for them. I created cognitive therapy cards as well, where they could actually look at faces, because deciphering faces is something that might be hard for a few interview autistic individuals. For the STEM section, I created a lot of interactive notebooks when it came to science. For math, I created games. For the creativity spot, I spent a lot of time working on categorizing different ideas for each section of holidays and giving 10 different drawing ideas, 10 different arts and craft ideas for each holiday. For the writing section, I have about 5 different prompts for each and every single letter. So it can be something as simple as like ants taking over the world, and there's all different types of prompts. And if they don't like to write, a lot of them, they also have the opportunity to do worksheets, tracing, rewrite their own stories. And even in the end, they can make a video of them talking about it. And there's a few speech skills worksheets that I created with A to Z sounds that they can list. Social skills are very simple videos that they can look at. There's 20 different videos which have been researched that are types of social skills that most autistic individuals struggle with. So I created a bunch of different videos that they can watch and see. So, and then there's also fun virtual events that I will hope to do soon as I get more students. So I created this mainly because I want people to know about this. It is a completely free resource with no membership, and I'm willing to make it as resourceful as possible as I change it and edit it every other weekend. And I just want public schools, people like you, to know about it so it can be in the community and used in the community amongst parents with autism and teachers who are in special education. Thank you for having me.
Gosh, Sharia, this is incredible. Hopefully it's okay with you if we share this, if I send this to the superintendent and then let him send it out throughout the schools? Yeah, great. Okay, thanks again. We appreciate that. Okay, so we have Councilor Bencomo who's on the phone, and so I'm going to need a motion a second to allow her to participate telephonically in our council meeting.
So moved, Corin.
Second, Gandara.
Motion made by Councilor Coran, second by Mayor Pro Tem Gandara, that we allow Councilor Johanna Bencomo to participate telephonically. Christine?
This is on the motion to allow Councilor Bencomo to participate telephonically. Councilor Beta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Coran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gandara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, now I'm going to read a conflict of interest statement. This is where I ask if any member of the city council, city manager, or any member of the city staff has any known conflict of interest on any item on the agenda.
None by Flores.
None, Gandara. None, Graham. None, Abeda.
None, Corin.
Okay, seeing none. Before we get to public participation, I'm going to use a little personal privilege here. So we had, a couple weeks ago, or last week, we had our Veterans Parade, and the theme was Welcome Home Our Vietnam Veterans. And so, I mean, I always knew that this gentleman here had served in Vietnam. I didn't really know his rank, and I didn't realize the medals that he was awarded. So, first, he was a second lieutenant. And just to let you know, the average lifespan in the Vietnam War of a second lieutenant was 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So apparently his colonel, when he saw him, he says, I don't have any second lieutenants. I'm going to make you a first lieutenant, which is extremely rare to get a field grade promotion in the field, but he did. And so maybe that's why he was alive. But nonetheless, if you talk to him, he got wounded. He was awarded the Purple Heart. And I want to let you read what Purple Heart is, which we are a Purple Heart city. It says, Purple Heart is presented to service members who have been wounded or killed as a result of enemy action while serving in the U.S. military. A Purple Heart is a solemn distinction and means a service member has greatly sacrificed themselves or paid the ultimate price while in the line of duty. Okay, so it goes even further. And he has no idea that I'm doing this. I think he realizes who he is. So then I find out that he was awarded the Bronze Star. So the Bronze Star is the fourth highest medal that you can win. The highest is the Medal of Honor, and 90% of those who get it is posthumously, and that means they're killed. So let me read to you, and this person received the Bronze Star with valor. So I want to read this. This is heroism in combat. The Bronze Star Medal with the V device to denote heroism is the fourth highest military decoration for valor. Although a service member may be cited for heroism in combat and be awarded more than one Bronze Star authorizing the V device, only one V may be worn on each suspension and service ribbon of the medal. So he did receive 2 Bronze Stars, and that is none other than our own Director of Community Development, Mr. Larry Nichols. Thanks, Larry. Thanks for your service and all that you do. And yeah, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go to public participation. This is where members of the public can speak to council for up to a total of 7 minutes, 3 minutes on any subject they want, 4 minutes for regarding something that's on the agenda. All that we ask is if it's on the agenda, if you can wait until that particular time comes up. If you have to leave, please let us know so the council doesn't respond to you and, you know, on your way. So normally we start on my left in the first row. There's no one in the first row, second row, or third row. How about fourth row? Which you all are allowed to speak only just once because you've already spoke once. No, just kidding. Did anyone on the fourth row? No. How about fifth row? Sixth row? Oh, seventh row. So you guys are seventh row. Okay. I just need you to state your name, and that's it.
I'm not a big fan for speaking in front of the public, but thank you for being here. Mr. Mayor and members of City Council, my name is Crystal Morales. I am here to speak on behalf of the children of the Children's Playhouse Child Care Facility. I bring their voice today because we are facing a defining moment on the issue of crime and vagrancy in and around the Desert Hope Complex. Over the past year, our facility has been subjected to vandalism, theft, and trespass. We have endured auto thefts, break-ins, thousands of dollars in damage to our facility, and trespassers who frighten our children. We have installed alarms, fenced out threats, upgraded our security doors and windows, which have severely impacted our finances. But still, criminals progress, knowing they are impervious to repercussions because there are no deterrents in place. The criminals and vagrants that the residents of Desert Hope attract threaten the safety of our children, and I am here today to urge immediate action and investment by the city to address this crisis. I ask that you protect the children. We have come together through social media and community meetings to address these issues. Other residents and business owners have come before you seeking resolution, yet the crime wave continues. Again, I ask that you protect the children. Statistics are not needed to see the negative impact that Desert Hope Complex has brought to the area. Just walk around the neighborhood and judge for yourself. If you are unwilling to visit the site, then please allow me to share pictures of some of the damage that has occurred at our facility. These photographs, maybe these photographs will convince you to protect the children. How many more pleas for help do you need to hear before you act? Our parents have the right to know their children are safe at our center. In an age where crimes against children are at an all-time high, what will it take before you act? My concerns are not only for the children at our center, but for all the children in the community. There are at least 8 child care facilities and 4 elementary schools within a 1-mile radius from Desert Hope Complex. The threat to children is very real. So real that our other communities have identified the danger homelessness and vagrancy presents to children and have passed laws to protect the children. For example, the City of Los Angeles has passed a law prohibiting homeless and vagrant encampments near and around daycares and schools. I asked the City Council to enact similar laws to protect the children. What are you waiting for? I am putting this council on notice so that the elected leaders and police officers sitting on this council have a responsibility to restore order and to change the narrative and not deem it as a false narrative. Take responsibility for what is happening because it is happening on your watch. Protect the children. Your tenure on this council can either be defined by what you have failed to do or what we choose to do now to protect the children. I thank each of you for your time, and I close with these 3 final words: protect the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. And you can leave those pictures with City Clerk if you'd like.
Yes, if I could.
Yeah. And then I'll address a little bit your comments or concerns. Okay, so let me just share a little bit of what I know about the community of Desert Hope Apartments. So this is a 40-unit complex that costs $6 million. That's $150,000 per unit. But this is a special type of financing done by HUD, Housing and Urban Development. And so what they do is they find investors who are willing to invest for people of little or no means of income, so that they can, if you think about it, so they can still get credit. That's how they invest. And so I think it's important to say that I know myself and my colleagues, we wanted to hold off for a little bit because we were told that a new management company was taken over about a little more than 2 months ago. But we're still hearing the concerns. And so I know Councilor Graham and myself and city manager, we're going to be meeting with, first off, the owner is Mesilla Valley Housing Authority. The clients do come from the Mesilla Valley Community of Hope. And so we're going to be meeting with HUD officials to see what exactly can be done. Because keep in mind, that's the only way we can do that. We cannot unilaterally do anything. Now, if HUD gives us some ideas, and if it means that we need to do, if there's, and it could mean financially, because remember, these are credits that have already been given to the contractors. We're going to look at everything, and then I'll bring it back to my colleagues. But that's all we can do for now. But we are moving towards this and trying to, and we have heard you, and we're trying to figure something out here so that all the concerns can be addressed. Okay, anyone else on that row? The meeting is sometime the last week of this month.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the information, council members.
Can you talk into the mic, please?
Oh, sorry.
And I need you to state your name, please.
Yes, my name is Robert Herrera for the record. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving us that information about the pending meeting. I just want to add to what Ms. Morales had stated about protecting the children. Again, it is a very, very important matter, and it is a very real threat. And I just would like to, ask Councilor Graham, it is my understanding that you represent this area. When was the last time you visited the area and looked for yourself what's going on? About a week ago, okay. I would invite you to go there probably about 10 o'clock at night, between 10 and 12, and see what's happening out there, because it's very, very dangerous out there, and to see what's going on. Mayor Pro Tem, I understand that you had served the children through CYFD, I believe, for many years. So right now I'm asking you to please consider this and protect our children, not only at my center, but around the entire area. Mr. Mayor, you just presented a proclamation honoring small businesses. Well, I'm here as a small business owner, and I have endured, if not weekly, daily theft and vandalism to my facility. So again, I ask you, protect the small businesses that you just honored. Thank you very much for your membership.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming forward. DC Daines, do we still have the Eye in the Sky in that area? We do? Okay. Eye in the Sky is a 24-hour camera that's real time and monitored by the police department. But, okay. So that was 7th row. Anyone else? About 8th row is Shariah. Last row. Anyone else on my left? Okay. Turn to my right is 1st row, no, 1 second. 3rd row staff, 4th row staff, 5th staff. 6th row, 7th row. Judge, you have something? Sure. You're 8th row.
Joy Goldbaum, Las Cruces Municipal Court Presiding Judge. Before I start my comments, I wanted to just really say how impressed I was with the young woman doing the app for the autistic kids. That's really, really impressive. Sharia, thank you. I wanted to try to answer some questions that were posed to me a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't at the podium. So the first one is, why do I come to city council meetings? I am the equivalent of a department head, and the city discusses and takes action on matters that affect the court. And additionally, some of the presentations made from departments in the city are really good and really helpful. And I'm just thinking of a few weeks ago, the one about demolition. Because before properties get to demolition, oftentimes they come through my court on lesser charges. And it's really helpful for me to see the end result of not complying with things that I order. So I do expect to be able to continue coming to council meetings and to be able to speak without anybody trying to silence, intimidate, or publicly shame me. I've also been asked, aren't I missing something going on at the court? And the answer is no, there are no hearings scheduled right now. So no, I have cleared Monday afternoons to continue coming to council meetings. Both the mayor and a member of the community, it may have been Mr. Garcia, have asked or raised the issue of certain people who have been arrested and released countless times. Dozens, maybe hundreds of times. And so kind of what I wanted to say about that is that municipal court almost never gets vandalism charges. Officially, they're called criminal damage to property. Almost never see those. Far and away, the most misdemeanors we get are for trespass, criminal trespass, followed closely by shoplifting. And there's probably about a dozen defendants who get arrested and as soon as they're out commit new offenses. What I wanted to say about those, and specifically some names that Mr. Garcia had sent me, is that that's not coming from me. I am being ordered to dismiss those cases by the district court. Now that I have your attention, I hope you'll let me do some presenting on that. There are a number of groups in our community that are working to try to, may I continue, Your Honor?
Judge, can I give you one more minute?
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm on one of those task forces, law enforcement, behavioral health, and we're starting to really come together, and I think we'll have some answers soon. Hopefully deterring people out of the criminal justice system. LEAD is one, but the sequential intercept model is another one. And then I was also asked, or somebody asked, how much we spent on alternate judges, so I have those figures for you. This year so far, through the end of October, $17,918, 2022, $44,931, 2021, $34,393. I have that information going back to 2016. If you are interested, I can get that to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think that concludes public participation. Is there anyone that I missed? Okay, so now I'm going to read a couple of closed meeting statements. Las Cruces City Council met in closed session at 10:35 a.m., November 7, 2022. The following members were in attendance: Councilors Karan, Bencomo, Abeta, Gandara, and myself, Ken Miyagashima. Staff present was Brad Douglas, City Attorney's Office, Deputy Chief Kiri Daines, Las Cruces Police Department, Icani Tamopeo, Assistant City Manager, Barbara De Leon, Chief Administrative Officer, Eric Enriquez, Assistant City Manager, Luis Robles, Outside City Attorney, Ifo Pili, City Manager, Jocelyn Garrison, Acting City Attorney, Bonnie DeWitt, who was accompanying Luis Robles, the outside attorney. Meeting adjourned at 11:35 a.m. For the record, Las Cruces City Council met in closed session and only discussed those limited items as stated in the posted notice, which was to discuss pending litigation regarding case 2:22-CV-0052 Enriquez Baca versus Cosper ETAL, which is closed pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H. Number 7. I have another one. Las Cruces City Council met in closed session at 11 a.m., November 14th, 2022. The following members were in attendance: Councilors Karan, Graham, Abeta, Gandara, and myself, Ken Miyagishima. Staff present was Ifo Pili City Manager Rob Cabello, outside legal counsel, Cody Rogers, outside legal counsel, Richard Handway, Roadrunner Transit. He left at 11:20 a.m. Barbara De Leon, Chief Administrative Officer, Eric Enriquez, Assistant City Manager, Jocelyn Garrison, Acting City Attorney, Brad Douglas, Acting Deputy City Attorney, Icani Tamopeo, Assistant City Manager, Joe Richards, HR Director. She came in at 11:20 a.m. And for the record, the meeting adjourned at 11:35 a.m. For the record, Las Cruces City Council met in closed session and discussed those limited items as stated in the posted notice, which was to discuss pending litigation regarding Mark Anthony Montoya versus Alfonso L. Vasquez Jr. in the city of Las Cruces, D-307-CV-2021-00306, which is closed pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H, number 7. Number 2, to discuss pending litigation regarding George Lopez versus the city of Las Cruces, not George Lopez, the comedian. D, as in David, -307-CV-201-90-01253, which is closed pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H, number 7. Yeah, I wanted to make that clear before TMZ starts calling us. Okay, so that takes care of the closed session. So now I need a motion to accept the agenda as presented, or...
So moved by Flores.
Second, Abeta.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Flores, second by Councilor Beta to accept the agenda as presented. Christine?
This is on the motion to accept the agenda as presented. Councilor Abeta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Karan?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, so the first item is 8.1, Resolution 23-059. I need a motion, a second, please.
So moved, Beta. Second, Gandara.
Motion made by Councilor Beta, second by Mayor Pro Tem Gondara. And so, as you recall, our first municipal judge candidate, retired presiding judge, Karen Ryan, after he retired, he of course was still a lawyer, has a law degree, but he chose not to renew his membership into the New Mexico Bar Association because that would require doing a lot of what they call continuing education. And so nonetheless, it was deemed by the courts that he wasn't eligible. Therefore, as was mentioned here earlier, when you have alternate judges, that tells you that maybe the current judge might be pretty busy, and I know that one of the things we want to do is just keep the courts moving along, our municipal court. And so Judge Streeter, Jessica Streeter, is a district judge who's going to be leaving the bench at the end of this year, and has a very well-rounded background in both criminal law, family law, and as I said, serves as a district judge right now. So I thought this would be a good replacement, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, yes, Councilor Flores? You vote yes or no?
Oh, we vote yes now. Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to see if there's any questions.
No, not at all. Excellent choice.
Okay, see no questions?
Mayor, can I just say a couple things? I don't have any questions.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Councilor Bencomo.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say I had the incredible pleasure and honor of being on the nominating commission earlier this year that nominated Judge Jessica Streeter to the governor to be appointed to this seat. And obviously I was there during her interview and just have gotten to know her, and I just think she's an incredible person, and I think she has an incredible work ethic and incredible relationships in the community. And so I just wanted to thank you for bringing this name forward.
Thank you, Councilor. And this would be effective on 1/1/2023, so not immediately. I think, yes, Councilor Flores.
I want to also thank you, Mayor, for selecting an excellent candidate, and I think that she'll bring a lot of integrity and dignity to the bench. And so again, thank you for an excellent selection.
You know, I have to say, there was a retired judge who gave me some names, and hers stood out. I mean, when you look at her background, she was a public defender. She worked in Roswell as, you know, on both sides. And then towards the end of her practice, she did it, not only family law, but wills and trusts. So that's a pretty interesting background. You don't have attorneys with that varied background. Usually just seems to be just one area. So, okay, well, there's nothing further. Christine?
This is on the motion to approve Resolution 23-059. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Cran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondeta?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Next item is 8.2, Council Bill 23-008, ordinance number 3014.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion made by Councilor Graham, second by Councilor Abeyta. David Ware from Community Development will be presenting.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. David Ware, Community Development. The ordinance before you is basically a house cleaning ordinance. It's a cleanup from an error that took place inadvertently with an update to another section of the zoning code. How that came about, if you recall, in September of 2021, we adopted the cannabis regulations for the city. At that time, there was a table that was deleted. It dealt with the commercial industrial bulk development standards, which are basically your setbacks, heights, distance between structures. This was just an omission error. Probably as staff was cutting and paste, we got a little aggressive with our cutting and didn't do our pacing. By putting the table back in, which is what the ordinance proposes, it doesn't impact the cannabis ordinance at all. All those regulations stay in effect. The amendment to return the table to the zoning code was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and they had a unanimous recommendation of approval. And so with that, staff also recommends that you place this table back in the code and you have your traditional options for action. I'll be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
No questions? Okay. Members of the public? We're on track to have the quickest city council meeting on record, so, okay, seeing none. Christine?
This is on the motion to approve ordinance 3014. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Cran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondeta?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, so next are board appointments. Looks like to the Senior Programs Advisory Board, Mr. Larry Altamirano, which is a new appointment. He'll be representing the Sage Cafe. I'll need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. Corin.
Second by Flores.
Motion made by Councilor Corran, second by Councilor Flores. Christine?
This is on the motion to appoint Larry Altamirano to the Senior Programs Advisory Board. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Cran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondeta?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, so now we'll go to notice of proposed ordinances. First one is 10.1, Council Bill number 23-009, ordinance number 3015.
Bring it forward.
All right, bring forward. Next one is 10.2, Council Bill number 23-010, ordinance number 3016.
Bring it forward.
Bring forward. Next one is 10.3, Council Bill number 23-011, ordinance number 3017.
Bring it forward, please.
Forward. Okay, so next is we have our council member board reports and comment. I don't really have anything other than what I might say. Hopefully she doesn't get upset. I just want to wish you, Mayor Pro Tem, a great day on Friday. And sorry I won't be able to be there, but nonetheless, congratulations to you and Bill. Okay. She's tying the knot, by the way. Okay, so Mayor Pro Tem, you're next.
Finally, after 11 years. How many? 11 and a half, yeah. Thank you, Mayor. That was very sweet. I wanted to remind council, and I can send the flyer to Christine so she can send it out, but to the public as well. Super excited about Zero Fare starting on Monday, the 28th. And so Doña Ana County Resilience leaders will be doing a bit of celebrating and offering pastries and coffee specifically to the drivers, but anybody that's there, it'll be from 7 a.m. to 9:30, and just enticing people to come on out and get on the bus and start becoming familiar with the various routes. It's Zero Fare, something that Councilor Bencomo has been working on for a significant amount of time, and so I appreciate her work on this and for staff's work making it happen. And then each of you have I'm also working on a meeting with our substance abuse treatment counselors and folks that have the expertise in that, to bringing them to a meeting to discuss the possibilities of working with Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham to develop our own treatment facility here in the southern part of the state, more specifically in the city of Las Cruces. I've invited a lot of different people that have expertise, but by no means is it an inclusive list. If there's folks out there that didn't receive that email from me last week, please feel free to come to our meeting. It'll begin December 3rd, 9 a.m. If you want further detail, give me a call. This will be something that I'll be working with our lobbyist, Larry Horan, and something that most of you know in this community is very much needed. When we continue to hear things about crime and break-ins and such, a lot of it is having to do with the fentanyl use. I went to a meeting, a training a few weeks ago from a DEA agent, just is really trying to bring awareness about the number of fentanyl that's out there. And very concerned. And so those of us that have worked in the substance abuse arena have seen that, and these evidence-based programs that are out there like LEADA and the other programs, we have to think very creatively how we address the issues moving forward. So my hope is to speak to what the strengths are in the existing system, what are gaps and barriers, and then trying to determine based on data what is the next steps. And for me, I think a facility would be very, very helpful. And then lastly, each of you have a draft resolution. Thank you, Sergio Ruiz, for helping with that. To establish a pilot program for the installation of hygiene stations throughout the city. I've spoken to Mayor and Councilor Bencomo. Councilor Bencomo and I will be co-sponsoring the resolution. And our hope is to bring it to our Housing Policy Review Committee on the 29th, I believe. And we will look at establishing in a specific place in the city hygiene stations to help with sort of the concerns that we hear regularly about defecation and urination, and just related to our unhoused neighbors and those that are just seeking relief. So I hope that we could get the nod, Mayor, to move it through Housing PRC, but also bring it back to Council sometime in December.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with that. I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilor Bencomo, for working on this. As I was telling Mayor Pro Tem, I don't know where I saw it on a social media site where in another city, not in New Mexico, Salvation Army helps run this type of, and so I think this would be really, really good to have. So whenever you want to have it put on the agenda, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. We have a nonprofit, actually a couple of nonprofits that are interested in managing it. So we just need to, put it together and provide the funding to be able to start and see how well it works. It feels similar to our Mano y Mano program. So we started off with a pilot. It's been hugely successful, so much so that we have 2 units and then a spot cleanup van that goes around town as well. And so I don't anticipate that there will be issues, but thought we should start as a pilot, and hopefully you all will agree that that's something that should happen. Councilor Bencomo, do you have anything?
Thanks, Mayor Pro Tem. I can wait.
Okay.
For my piece to add a couple thoughts to that. Thank you, though.
Sure. That's all my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilor Flores.
So there's a couple of things that are brewing. As you all know, we have our legislative session coming up, and I want to thank Debbie Moore for all of her efforts in making sure that we have an airport that has interstate travel. I don't know if I can make the announcement. I think I'll leave it to Andy Hume. I was hoping he'd be here today. But we will have interstate travel very, very soon. Intra, not inter. And there will be flights, daily flights, Monday through Friday, 1 to Albuquerque and 1 from Albuquerque, morning and night. So there won't be any weekend, which will then hopefully mean that people will come on Friday and then they won't leave until Monday morning. And yay! And I have to say that along with Andy Hume, I think that Debbie Moore, I'm glad you're here, Debbie, to thank you for all of your efforts. It's been amazing. It's just amazing. And I think that you've spoken about some of this, but most of us have been not able to really openly boast because there's all these things that have to be approved because there's just one more step to go. But hopefully it'll be within the next couple of months. And the other is a group of concerned citizens, different representatives from different walks of life, came up with an ordinance. And it's very well written. The drafters, it was a group of about 5-6 people. And there are a couple of attorneys on that, in that group, PhD and MD, people who are really concerned about police conduct. And so I transferred it, I sent it over to our city attorney, acting city attorney, Joyce Garrison, and she suggested that I submit it as and I wouldn't submit it as an ordinance because it almost looks like a law review note. I mean, it's very long, very well written, but I will submit it to our city council. I'll distribute it later today. And how that will come about, I'm not entirely sure. We also, Sergio and I, we've worked at my request, Sergio has worked on a fantastic resolution to rename that offensive name, a street name. And that too will hopefully come on for vote within the next, well, certainly before the end of the year, because it's already the end of November. But other than that, there was a huge celebration in terms of having Gabe Vasquez elected, and he won by 1,200 votes. And I think he'll make an excellent representative, and I told him that he'd be the first Chicano president of the United States. So hopefully I'll be alive to see that. There's another, as to the tragedy that occurred in Colorado Springs Saturday night, apparently there has been someone apprehended. I was watching MSNBC this morning before getting here, and it looks like there's someone who has been apprehended. I don't know if he's been arrested or booked or anything like that. But the LGBTQ plus community organized a vigil Saturday night at the Las Cruces Plaza, and there were a number of us there. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful, a very, very sad, but just a woeful, very, and a few people spoke. I think most people couldn't speak just because it's so overwhelming. But other than that, there's a lot of other stuff, but I don't want to bore you all. No. Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilor Flores. Do you mind kind of restating what you were talking about regarding the police and ordinance? What basically is it?
Yeah, so there's a group of, Dr. Ernesto Flores, his wife Maria Flores, who served on the Las Cruces School Board for 13 years. Peter Goodman, we all know Peter. Harvard grad, actually taught at Harvard, and he actually taught a class to Deval Patrick. And Deval Patrick was the head of the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, and then ran for, became mayor of Massachusetts, governor of Massachusetts, and then ran for U.S. president. Manny, I can't think, he's an attorney, I can't think of his last name. And Dr. Earl Essen, and Bobby Green. So yeah, there's 6 people. And so they've drafted this quote ordinance, but it looks really long. And I did send it, I spoke with EFO, and then I sent it over to Joyce. And we did hold a meeting. The NAACP was represented, not by Bobby, but Maria Flores and Peter Goodman. And there was another person, but I can't recall. But at any rate, yeah, it's a little bit different. EFO explained very well that we have our oversight committee, and then we have a commission, I believe, Public Safety Committee. Yeah, and EPO made it very clear that it was not his decision, that it was a decision for council to make. And but it was a very good meeting. It was, I think, a good hour and a half or more. And but it was, I think, it was all triggered by the killing of Amelia Baca. And there are some similarities or maybe overlap, but it wants, because they did have a lot of questions when EPO explained that we have these committees already. They wanted to know how they were selected, whether there's a good representation of different backgrounds on those committees. And so, they'd like it to move forward.
I guess I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is this with this ordinance. If you were to give me a title, what is the title? What would be the topic? What is the purpose? What is it? Is it a citizens review committee? Is that what you're?
It's an oversight.
Yeah. Okay, so
Different than,
I need to see it because I'm going to do what I can.
Yeah.
It may require council to override me because until I see it, and if I'm okay with it, I'll let it go.
Sure.
through. Okay.
Yeah, procedurally, I don't want to step
I
on your
gotcha.
toes
Okay.
or be, I don't want to do that. But I'm just making that announcement now because it was given to another city councilor. Because I initially attended the first meeting and made it clear that, they have to make their decisions without me because it would eventually come to us. So, okay, definitely, I'll forward that to you.
Yeah, all right. Well, make sure I can't be the fourth council member. I could be the third, but no more than.
To send you what I have?
Right. So, or you have to disclose it publicly. If you've already spoken to, say, 2 other council members, please don't send it to me.
I haven't spoken to any other council member about it.
Then, yeah, please send it.
I'm just making, this is not a violation of the Open Meetings Act and saying that this is in process. So I'll definitely send it to you, Mayor.
Okay. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Councilor Coran.
Thank you. I just wanted to sort of bring it back to something that Councilor Flores mentioned. This is Transgender Week of Remembrance, and given another mass shooting at another LGBTQ nightclub, I just wanted to take a minute and to recognize that this week is actually calling on us to remember trans folks who have been lost to violence. Hundreds since we started keeping track in the early 2010s. Trans folks, particularly women of color, experience disproportionate rates of murder and often find injustice at every turn as they try to live their best lives. Many folks in the LGBT community are refugees from harmful rhetoric and violence, and I could include myself in this statement. I'm really grateful to have ended up here in Las Cruces, where I can live in a community that values love, justice, and family, both chosen and by birth. I'm troubled by the increasingly hostile rhetoric and violence toward LGBTQ people, including here in our chamber and on our social media accounts. We need to stand up and speak out as much as our privilege allows us to. This week, I hope that we can remember those LGBTQ folks who have lost their lives to violence, and that we can reflect on our own community and how we can shape a place that is both safe and just for LGBTQ people. So that's my comment for this week.
Thank you, Councilor Cran. Councilor Bencomo, you have some comments?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm calling in, but I'm also watching you all on YouTube, and I can't help but just feel like I wish I was there. Just being able to hold Councilor Coran's hand. I can't help but feel emotional. I think it's it continues to be a pretty big moment. Gun violence is plaguing our communities at every corner that feels safe, that feels sacred, that feels important for, historically marginalized communities. And so it feels frustrating, and it feels heartbreaking, and it feels infuriating. But I agree with Councilor Coran that as much as we can do from our positions, from our pulpits, to hold people accountable to dangerous rhetoric, because often dominant narratives against historically marginalized communities aren't just mean. They don't just hurt our feelings. They have consequences. Words are heavy. When you show up to this chamber and you say homophobic things, those things are heavy and they carry an impact and they have consequences. And we've seen those consequences. We saw them over the weekend in this tragic shooting. And so I just, I want Councilor Coran to know that I deeply love her and stand in solidarity with her, with the entire LGBTQI community in Las Cruces and beyond. I did also want to note that, just to be completely transparent, that the resolution Councilor Flores is talking about, I have seen it. So if that clears up if it would be a violation, then it could be. I just want you all to know that I have seen that resolution. So I'll let you know, talk amongst yourselves about that, Councilor Flores and Mayor. And then the last thing I just wanted to add was in terms of Mayor Pro Tem's comments regarding the hygiene stations. We've been in conversations with EFO about this, with a lot of nonprofit organizations who are doing harm reduction work, and this just needs to be done like yesterday. And so I was telling her that I think it should be part of a broader harm reduction resolution that includes additional funding, as I had previously mentioned in the TID meeting, for street outreach. And I don't mean just outreach for people who are unhoused to let them know what kind of services are available, but I think what we are seeing with the destruction, with the damages, and the folks that are coming to this chamber and emailing us and calling us about being fearful, I'm certainly in those conversations in District 4 as well. I deeply believe that it has to do with substance abuse and fentanyl and how badly that is damaging our community right now, and we just need a better plan, a harm reduction plan that is doing outreach to those folks, and hopefully perhaps in the future can lead to something like a safe consumption site. But I think the hygiene stations are a great first step to include in this water harm reduction plan that is not just providing the service to people who clearly need it, but that is extending out a hand and hoping that people will take the help if they need it, especially if they're struggling with substance abuse and a co-occurring disorder, mental health disorder. So I'm very happy that she came to me about this because I think it's critical and it's important, and I'm excited to bring it to the rest of the council. Oh, and yes, I also wanted to, of course, give a huge shout out to our past colleague, Gabe Vasquez, for his incredible and historic win to become our next congressman for Congressional District 2. Thanks all.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Graham?
Thank you. Councilor Bencomo stated it beautifully, as always, but I do feel compelled to echo Councilor Curran, the better Becky. Thank you for being here with me as a colleague and being part of the family that I have chosen. And thank you for your voice. And I add mine to the entire community that is here once again. So yeah, I'll stop on that before I get more emotional. The only thing that I wanted to lift up, many thanks to Adrian Widmer, our Director Interim of Utilities, for a very quick response to a query I sent this morning, and that was as I was shivering in front of a space heater. It is getting really cold, so I had inquired about the low-income heating assistance that's available both through the city and at the state. And the heating moratorium, where utilities will not shut off natural gas for non-payment, is active now, actually since November 15th, all the way through March 15th. If anyone has any questions about that or other resources available at the local or even at the state level, you can check the utilities website, or you can always reach out and give a call at 575-541-2111, which is probably a number that Adrian can say in her sleep. So, thank you so much. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And before I get to Councilor Abeyta, congratulations, our colleague Gabe Vasquez, on your congressional win. And so we're looking for great things and a lot of money bringing here to southern New Mexico. Okay, Councilor Abeyta.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I do want to say thank you to Councilor Curran for your words and statements, and I want to make sure that I am also doing my part here on the dais. I oftentimes have our standard rules of procedure out and about. I've used it more than once. But I do want to note that we have two sections in here on debate, on decorum, on how we speak to each other. And as you've heard in the last few weeks, we did have a few comments that went beyond what is considered respectful and made very degrading remarks and not making it an environment that is fair and safe for all of our residents regarding our LGBTQIA plus communities a couple weeks ago. So I will make sure that I am calling out these items in the moment, and because that's when I think it needs to be addressed. And so thank you very much for reminding us and to make sure that we're doing our part for that. Secondly, I just got back from the National League of Cities last week. I went initially for our municipal league. It's part of our duties to help represent, but at the same time, I always think it's great to layer on items for the city. So during that, I met with members of the EPA, including Arnita Christman, who's the intergovernmental liaison for EPA, where I just was able to introduce our city, talk about the wonderful things that we are doing as far as even our adoption of Elevate Las Cruces, our climate action plans, and talk about some of the needs for the future, such as our wastewater at Jacob Hands facility and the need for the funding later on. So I am very excited to be able to showcase our city in these ways. And then for the conference itself, there was a lot of overriding themes that other municipalities are struggling with. Crime is one, the unhoused population, use of fentanyl, and the repercussions that are having. And so unfortunately, we are not unique in that aspect in a lot of other ways. And how different cities are working to resolve these issues vary, but there seems to not be one solid improvement plan right now. So this is still kind of a work in progress, I think, we have as a nation. Some of the items that I think were really interesting to hear, though, was that about municipal strategies to narrow the racial wealth divide, and that of home ownership seems to be one of the most successful ways that other larger municipalities have been able to help bring in generational wealth to communities. And it started with just changing up zoning codes, and then looking at, when we talk about affordable housing or housing trusts, not just to look at rentals, but what do those spaces look like if it's home ownership, that you can have different developments built. So I know that we just had some GO bonds pass as well. One of them is that of affordable housing, and I am curious to see if there's what the plan will be later on for that. And I'd love us to consider ways that we can look at maybe making sure that we are looking at home ownership too, and not just rentals. And with that, I think those are the main things. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Before we get to the city manager's report, which I'm sure you've noticed, the city manager is out for this week, and the assistant city manager, Enriquez, has a report. I just want to say just a quick comment here. So earlier you heard us discussing Desert Hope, where we knew that we've heard of the situation, but we also were excited to hear that there was a new management team being brought in, and we wanted to see if that was going to work, give it time, but it doesn't appear to be doing so. But what I was trying to get at is that was the answer to the proposed answer to the solution, and maybe it's not working. So I want to kind of pivot to this proposed ordinance that you're talking about, Councilor Flores. So thanks to you and Mayor Pro Tem Gandara and Councilor Bencomo and others who really worked hard to put together the LIGHT program, which is where paramedics and social workers from the fire department are now going to accompany the police to hopefully diffuse that situation, or maybe they themselves go, okay? In addition to, if you recall, Chief Dominguez came up with a new recruiting method and going after, wanting to recruit those with the backgrounds of social psychology, sociology, those type of sciences that many of our colleagues have those degrees in. And speaking with VC Danes, and you'll hear how many new cadets are coming on board from the assistant city manager. But what I'm trying to say is we do know that there are those that in the academy because of the bonuses that were paid out. So all I'm asking is that you let the solutions that many of you worked on, let that go forward, because that was the response of, hey, what are we doing? What can we do to change? So I think we should let that play itself out before we go and put a an organization together, an ordinance together. But nonetheless, I'll still like to see it, unless there's been another council member that's already seen it. If they haven't, then I can't see it. So we know one, Councilman Como. If there's another one, please let us know. If not, then I don't mind looking at it. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn over to Assistant City Manager Eric Enriquez.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, a couple of updates that I wanted to bring up through our Public Works Department. Some talks have begun on the traffic signal at Sonoma Boulevard and North Rise. So the bidding should take place in January, February with construction of the new light in the spring. So that's good news for that busy intersection. So this morning, Connie and I, we got to go meet with the new hires here for the city of Las Cruces. It's something that our city manager, Ifo Pili, has started a few months back so that we could meet and greet all the new hires that are coming to the city of Las Cruces. And today we had the privilege of meeting Academy 52 for the Las Cruces Police Department. So there'll be 23 cadets there, starting their 22 weeks of what I call fun training. Okay, so that's what we have now. It's a great addition to our organization. We'll have 23 cadets starting the academy today. They're going through orientation, but we wish them all the best, and they'll be joining our community to protect and to serve. And other than that, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Eric. Okay, if there's nothing further, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn, but I have one note as the public health person on this board. Please take your turkey out of the oven and put it in the fridge if you haven't already, because it's too late. Don't let it thaw on the counter or we'll all die. I move to adjourn.
Second. Okay. Motion made by Councilor Correa, second by Councilor Beta. Christine?
This is on the motion to adjourn the regular meeting. Councilor Beta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Correa?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
No, I want to be here. I don't think
By
we should
yourself?
adjourn. Yes.
Councilor Gandara?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes. So we're adjourned. It's 2:17 p.m., and we'll leave the lights on for you, Councilor Flores.